So the game becomes, how do you get invited into the physician's referral network? How do you arrive at such a point that you have the three feathers in your hat, as it were, and they've recognized you as being knowledgeable enough that they can trust you to solve a problem that they have with the patient? Every physician has a referral network. You can start with that assumption. It's there. You just have to figure out how to get into it and not ruin your chances. So when we come back to this equation, we've tackled the science. We've understood that we must learn the science well enough, at least, that we can speak their language. We need to put systems together that have tools and resources that I can use to somehow enhance the communication with the physicians that I'm working with, either through the front door or through the back door as it relates to patient care. And I need a way to manage the processes, a physician relationship management tool that will allow me to manage all the processes that go in to developing these networks and developing the relationships. So for a few minutes now, we're going to talk about the second wheel in this gear called the materials and the resources. A little bit of principled philosophy here. This is just relationship stuff. It's just about marketing. We're going to start on the left side. We're going to begin. This is the handshake. Hello, this is who I am. How are you? We're very poorly positioned. We're very poorly differentiated. And we're trying to get over to the right side where the treasure chest is. And on the right side, there's not very much competition over there because that's my tight circle. I'm highly positioned and I'm now highly differentiated. The question is, how do I get from the left side to the right side? What things do I have to do? How does this happen that he just includes me or she includes me in this referral network? The answer to that is we have to use the right equipment. If you're a golfer, if you're playing hockey, if you're playing baseball, tennis, doesn't matter what the sport is, you have to understand what game you're playing so you can pick up the right instrument in order to be able to accomplish the task that you want. So we have to use the right equipment, have the right tools and the resources. This is what I've put together that helps me to do this. This is an assemblage of the materials, the tools, and that's all they are, is the tool. Whether I can hit the ball really great out of the park or not, I don't know yet, but I have the tools to do it if I want. Without the tools, I can't even begin playing the game. I'm just pretending. So we understand that just because you have the tools doesn't make you the master of the tool yet or the master of the game, but you at least have the tools. And so these are the tools that I've put together. And the principal one that I lead off with is the Physician Resource Manual. I brought a copy of it. You can look at it in the back, but this is what it looks like. On the front, there are pull quotes from the literature. On the back is where you brag about you. Every book has an author place where you get to say things about who wrote the book or put it together. This is the legal place where you can put your biographical sketch, talk about how great you are, or whatever is legal there. You can't do that anywhere else, but it's accepted on the back. So that's what we do. When we go out, we deliver this right through the front door. We walk in, sometimes very much unannounced, and we introduce ourselves. Usually it's to the office manager, and we say, hi, my name's Dr. Osler, and we have some brownies or some sweet bread, whatever. We're trying to break the ice. We're trying to get the attention. I'm trying to get these giggly females at the front desk to welcome me and to say, oh, that's different, that's cute, I like that. And if I take brownies, see, I say that because the guys don't giggle, right? They laugh at the gigglers. But the women, they love this stuff. And if I have the treat, I just make sure, because it's not always that I get the attention of the physician. Sometimes they'll actually go get the doctor and bring him out. And I'm like, oh, no, that's fine. But, I'd love to have that. But I always say, make sure that the doctor gets a piece. Save a piece for him. I want him to have a piece. I make a joke of it. The point is, this gets me in the front door. This is my calling card. And people say, well, why would you give this right up front? So what a waste. It's like, no, this is worth its weight in gold because of what's in it. This is my calling card. It's not a trifold brochure, it's my calling card. This is the table of contents. I've got several sections or chapters in it. We introduced the idea. Section 1 is a physician's guide to the oral systemic connection. I also have one for TMD headaches. I also have one for sleep. We're making some other for some other disciplines, and they'll have their appropriate chapter titles, but it's all generically the same thing. Physician's Guide to Oral Systemic or TMD or whatever. And then we put in the little medical legal thing. I put some things in there about what attorneys are looking for. You know, I just want to increase the pressure here just a little bit. And then the succeeding chapters are broken down by topic. And so if I'm with an OBGYN, I'll kind of flip to the section that has stuff about pregnancy complications, and I'll show them some bibliography citations that have to do with pregnancy complications, or cardiovascular disease with the cardiologist, diabetes with the endocrinologist. Whatever their specialty or interest is, I make sure that they flip to that. And I go to the bibliography and I just fan through it. And it looks a little bit like this. As I'm showing it to them, I just say, I've collected some research citations. In the oral systemic, there's over 550 in my bibliography right now. And it's like, I'm establishing the fact that this is science-driven. They can argue with me all they want, but they can't fight with the science. I want them to not necessarily believe they have to read all that. I don't expect them to. I want them to think that I know it. And I think I do. So that's what the table of contents is. That's what's in my calling card. This is the table of contents for the bibliography that's in it, and it grows every day, every week. We add more. There'll be 600 or 700 probably in a few months. We also have a tool called Fax Drip. The picture here just illustrates that we're just dripping on them. I use fax on purpose. It arrives in their office in a secured way. It's without an envelope. There's no cover. If all they read was the headline, who it was from, and the bullet points, that's all I'm interested in. I just want them to see my name. And it's basically a non-solicitive literature review. I get these all the time from the endodontists and the oral surgeons. I'm doing it to them now about subjects that I think, and I've got it annotated with citations from their literature, and it just drips on them. This goes out once a month. I'll show you how that works a little bit later. I also have tucked in there referral materials. I want to make it easy for the physician who doesn't know anything yet about oral systemic or maybe even about the TMJ a whole lot. I want to make it easy for them in front of their patient to refer them. So I give them a checklist. These are questions they can ask or things to look for, and if there's any of those work, then that indicates a referral to the dentist for evaluation. I personally offer a free screening. It's just a quick look-see. I just want a thumbs up, thumbs down. You do or don't have gum disease. Dr. Smith is so smart for referring you here. I'm going to make sure to send him a note to let him know how smart he is and what a great opportunity this is to catch this disease before it kills you. I work that angle, okay? And then we also send a follow-up letter to the physician. We also do in-service trainings. This is another tool in our tool belt. Lunch and Learns. This happens to be a picture at a local OB group where we were invited in after I'd talked with the OB about the pregnancy complications. He invited me in and we spent 90 minutes teaching 6 OBs and 4 PAs and their clinical staff oral systemic connection. Imagine that, 90 minutes. We also have the tools online, the Physician Relationship Manager, and we'll show some of that here a little bit later. We'll get online and I'll show you how we actually work that. This allows you to organize your database, to have it there to organize your task managers and so forth. This is really key, hence the key. Have a staff person. A dentist isn't going to do this. I can promise you a dentist is not going to do this. There might be one like me on the side that might, but probably not going to happen. You've got to have staff support, and that's why I'm glad the staff is here to realize there's got to be somebody on site that will take the 2 to 3 hours cumulative time, wherever that's spread out, to make this physician referral idea really float. And there has to be some training to make that happen. Philosophically, this whole concept is about drip marketing. I'm dripping. If I establish a relationship with somebody, even if it was my fiance, you know, or actually before she became my fiance, my girlfriend, you know, how does a girlfriend become a wife? Well, you go through a courtship. You don't just do it the first day and you're married. You're going to be like, well, let's take some time and get to know each other. Let's go back and forth with the flowers and all the cute things that we guys forget about. And gradually we built a relationship over time that gets to the point where we're at that treasure chest area where we get the referrals in this situation. So this graphic just simply illustrates that I'm going to put a whole bunch of physicians in my marketing hopper, if you will, my funnel, and I'm going to shake it just a little bit so that they'll come down through the hopper, if you will. And I do that by sending things to them. It might be a report, a patient report, a newsletter, a physician resource manual. I might drip another newsletter. I send them some more brownies, a copy of the consensus report. I just make this stuff as I go, and it depends on what comes out in the journals that week, and it shows up as a part of this program. And at the end of that process, somewhere I either have a physician who has included me in their network in an active way, or one that doesn't have a clue, and I go next, and I put another physician or 5 in the hopper, and I work them through. And I'm constantly putting new ones in, because you can't work with everybody. I pick and choose from among those in my community who I want to start working with through the front door. So again, that summarizes the concept here. I take the science that I have the proper materials and the tools, which you can make up on the fly, you can make up on your own, or you can get them that are already provided for you. And I plug them into a management system that allows the process to be supervised and with some thought as it moves forward, because my goal is to develop the network and begin to become invited into that inner circle where I'm in the network and they think of me when XYZ shows up with their patient.